First piece on First Word, it's a Bloomberg exclusive. Infosys CEO Salil Parekh believes now is the time to sacrifice margins and invest in advanced technology and skill development. In an interview with Bloomberg Saritha Rai, he says this would be crucial to stay relevant to clients in the future. Saritha, in fact, joins us right now on the phone line from Bangalore with the big takeaways from that interview. Saritha, what did Salil Parekh have to say? What did he lay emphasis on?
Yes, so he was talking about investing consciously towards positioning the Infosys of the future. In fact, his words were that if Infosys had to invest in advanced technologies and skills in order to capture the opportunities of the future, the time to do it was now. And that includes pumping more money into technologies like Internet of Things and to retrain workers in the skills that are, in demand in the market, as well as localizing the workforce in the key U.S. market, which accounts for about 2/3 of Infosys' revenue.
Okay, Saritha, I know that he said in your interview, and this is the comment that that is going to capture the imagination of the markets today, that he thinks it's worthy to sacrifice margins for growth. Can you help elaborate on that statement, the context he gave you for how he hopes to achieve that, and whether he thinks that growth is a near, medium, or long-term feature?
So, Menka, what he was talking about was several different strategies to make Infosys relevant. And as you know, Infosys has had a really horrendous year in 2017. And, with the leadership change and Salil Parekh coming in, there has been a strategy update. And Parekh thinks that, alongside investing in technologies and reskilling people, there's going to be a big accent on localization in the U.S. All of that is going to cost money. For instance, they're going to set up a training center on 60 acres of land in Indiana. They're going to hire big time and train college graduates in the U.S. They're going to go after acquisitions that will set them up for digital services play. They're going to chase after new digital clients by expanding the sales team. So there's a lot of things that he's trying to work on, Menka.
Saritha, your story doesn't speak of his view on why Infosys has decided to sell both Panaya and Scava. Did he speak to you at all about that? Where did that decision come from? What was the politics behind that decision, if any?
He, of course, would not speak about the politics, but he did speak about Panaya and Scava, and he said that Infosys had taken Infosys had taken stock of its latest strategy and its focus on the business of client service needs, and then built a set of criteria. The management looked at the businesses internally, and Panaya and Scava are no longer meeting the criteria that Infosys has set for itself. So Parekh's plan is to look for alternatives outside. He says they will still be part of the ecosystem. We may still partner with them, but they are up for sale.
Okay, I have a final question. I don't know if Neeraj has one more, but this has more to do with the contrasting styles of management that Salil Parekh presents versus the erstwhile leader, the previous leader, which is Vishal Sikka. Parekh seems to be a little bit more measured, more muted, less aggressive, at least in the way he's speaking right now, not necessarily in the way he implements strategy. What did you take away from the difference in body language, the difference in approach, and whether the sort of the turmoil and the tumult at Infosys is finally at an end now?
Well, Salil Parekh certainly hopes so. So the difference in styles of the two people, the most obvious difference is Vishal Sikka was more flamboyant, very voluble, and certainly out there. And Salil Parekh comes across as a really measured, more inscrutable, person. He says his management style is all about data. He says he wants all of the decision making to be based on data. And he plus also says that he doesn't like getting second-hand information, so he wants to deal with people one-on-one. Vishal Sikka was based in the U.S. and Salil Parekh is just moving to Bangalore from Mumbai. So that is a really more hands-on approach that Salil Parekh is bringing, but certainly a very, very wide contrast between the operating styles of Parekh and Sikka. Sikka very, very much more aggressive and voluble. Parekh very much laid back and measured.